The Legion's history of brutality is well documented, but also well hidden. It's about teamwork, an esprit de corps, to create the kind of soldiers who'll stick together in the face of anything.
The Legion has a motto, Legio Patria Nostra. The Legion is our homeland. You give up all your ties to everything else and you swear allegiance to the Legion.
The force of the Legion is that we are all here, united for the same cause. Different cultures, different traditions, different religions, different colors, and different mentalities.
Instead of fragmenting the unit, their diversity forges a bond that keeps them together.
After a while, nationalities fade away. This first month, you're an American. But after a while, once we get to know your comrades, then that fades away. You're no longer an American.
Since the Legion has 100-odd nationalities serving, it can draw on the experience of just about every nation in the world. So rather than having a unique way of doing things, the Legion can provide 100 different ways of doing things.
Another force bonds the soldiers together.
Rangers.
Language.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Une Rangers.
French is the only language every recruit speaks.
Engagé volontaire, aide-moi à vous avoir mon lieutenant. Béret.
Many arrive not knowing a single word.
He simply showed up at the door, wanting to be a Legionnaire. He's Mongolian, and of course they have a totally different alphabet and culture.
C'est une Rangers. Répétez. C'est une Rangers.
We took him in just like the others, but of course, it's hard, because we've never had a Mongolian, and our two languages are so different.
When you first join the Foreign Legion, it's a jungle. You've got a very, very bad level of French. Guys have got 2 months of service in the army or in the Foreign Legion. It's normal they're not going to speak the language.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
The Legion makes sure you learn,
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
one way or another.
You learn faster, you get your head kicked in. It starts off, and they're really reasonably lenient if you don't understand things. They take into account that you've only been there a short period of time, but the longer you're there, the more they expect you to know. And if you don't get with the program fast, it can get quite painful.
After a few weeks, a new devotion sets in. A devotion to the Legion itself, above all else. 1962. After a bloody decade of war, France reluctantly grants independence to Algeria, long a French territory and a Legion battlefield. Forced to leave thousands of Legionnaire graves behind them, the Legion felt betrayed and set in motion a coup d'etat. Their plan? To assassinate French President Charles de Gaulle. A Legionnaire sniper was chosen and sent to Paris. Ultimately, the plot failed. Some speculate that it was foiled when de Gaulle's route was changed at the last minute. But the Legion suffered irreparable damage. The French government acted to ensure such an insurrection could never be repeated. The elite 1st Parachute Regiment was disbanded, and another created in its place. It was moved offshore, far from the seat of government, but well within the sights of the French army.
They realized that the Legion itself, as an independent army, could be very dangerous to the French government. So what they did was they brought it under the auspices of the French army itself, whereas prior to that the Legion was totally independent.
Today's recruits enter a legion far different than that of a half-century ago.
It's very important to keep the legionnaires training all the time, to keep them busy, because we're used to say that a legionnaire who is not working is a legionnaire able to do mistakes.
Discipline, dedication, and loyalty are the order of the day.
Légionnaire Schneider, absent de mon colonel.
C'est la Légion étrangère.
Orders flow from French officer to foreign legionnaire, without question.
Tu as des bons résultats?
Oui, mon colonel. Dans l'armée allemande, mon colonel.
In one way, it is easier to control in the French Foreign Legion for the chief, because you know that you give an order and you will be obeyed.
On fait un bond de 200 mètres toujours en essayant de trouver un point d'observation.
When a guy asks to move a mountain, the colonel turns around and says, right, tomorrow I move that, we will do it because he said to do it. It's not blind brainwashing. It's if he says that it can be done, well, okay, fine, it can be done.
Recruits are taught to ignore the political or moral implications of their mission.
Where the government decides to send you, that's where they send you. If you start to toss back and forth, well, politically this is wrong, then you think twice about fulfilling your mission. Then you lose that edge that you had.
They are looking for a family, they are looking for a place where they have a specific job, where they get orders, where they don't have to think, where they just have to obey, and they are looking for some kind of security in this new place they have chosen for their life.
For those who keep going, a proud moment awaits at the finish line. After 1 month of basic training, the recruits are considered legionnaires, fit to wear the képi blanc, the Legion's trademark white hat.
It's a proud feeling when you put on the white hat, and it's an exclusive club, very exclusive club. Very few people wear them.
Nous promettons de servir avec honneur et fidélité.
Once you become a legionnaire after that 1 month period of time, then the training really starts. Then they can get tough because you've shown you can make it through that first bit of training, the basic indoctrination. Beyond that, then they have to teach you everything that's involved in being a legionnaire from day to day. Beyond that, then they have to teach you everything that's involved in being a legionnaire from day to day.
It's all in preparation for what lies ahead, as they move into the real world with real battles, in some of the most unforgiving conditions on Earth. For almost 2 centuries, the desert has been a battleground for the French Foreign Legion. Chad, Tunisia, Morocco, the great garrisons of the African dunes. Once legionnaires pass their 4 months of basic training, they may wind up here, Djibouti, one of the hottest countries on Earth.
The thing about Djibouti is it's so far away from what we consider to be the conventional world. You're away from the eyes of anybody. Anything can happen. You follow orders, because if you don't, you can disappear.
Perched on the Horn of Africa, this former French territory is a mere fraction the size of France, with 1/100th the population. But it's where the action is. Captain Philippe DELAPELLE commands a Legion unit isolated in the desert.
It is a very good place for us because it is close from Somalia, Ethiopia, Eritrea, so places which are quite dangerous.
The Legion has come at the request of the Djibouti government to guard the borders and thwart terrorists looking for a new home.
11, 12, 13 en avant. Direction, plein ouest, pointe à atteindre, entrée ouest de Tadjoura, itinéraire.
It's difficult, dangerous work. Out here they have a saying.
12, 12, ici 10, parlez.
Only 3 things can live in this desert: snakes, scorpions, and French legionnaires. To learn how to survive in these extreme conditions, new legionnaires hit the beach at Arta-Plage, the desert training center, home to the Legion's 1-month graduate course of the sands.
I think training in the desert is very important for us. The French soldiers are numerous in Africa, and we have to know the specific conditions of fighting in desert. It's a very good school for us to be here in Djibouti.
Allez, suivant. Allez, pas de sol. Regarde. Voilà derrière. Regarde. Regarde sol. Regarde. Gauche droite. Gauche droite.
Early each morning, legionnaires like Wolf DREN awake for desert commando training.
Gauche droite. Gauche droite. Coup de boule.
I'm expecting a physical effort. I want to find out how much I'm capable, mentally and physically. And of course I'm searching of adventure.
Even at 6 a.m., the mercury climbs above 100 degrees. Reared on the ski slopes of Slovenia, he's never tackled conditions like this before. He's been kept awake for the past 36 hours. He paddled all night, then did a forced march until 4 a.m.
It's difficult to prepare for a challenge like this. It's one time, it's the last, I hope.
Legionnaires pride themselves on their camaraderie, but they also learn to function as an army of one. Like all elite units, they master hand-to-hand combat, using whatever's available. The subtleties of the knife and the garrote.
We're not special force. I think that is where we have an advantage. It's not exactly training, it's specifically knowing how to do things. The Legion has something else, a certain capability to withstand hardship and duress.
The Legion is self-sufficient anywhere. The American military, when they go in, if they don't have it with them, they're at a loss. We're so used to dealing with, making do with nothing, that we take what we need, water and ammo.
Time and again, the Legionnaires have tested their capacity to survive against all odds. 1954, Indochina. After an epic 56-day siege, Legionnaires surrender at Dien Bien Phu. It's the beginning of the end for the French in Southeast Asia. After nearly a decade of war, 10,000 Legionnaires have perished. But for those who fought on against overwhelming odds, it was a part of something ingrained into every Legionnaire, the notion they would rather die than surrender.
He wants to give absolutely everything to the Legion. In the worst battle situations, that's where a Legionnaire truly shows himself.
In the last century, over 30,000 Legionnaires have died in combat. a casualty rate of 1 in 10. This is the mainstay of their grim legacy.
A legionnaire knows that one day or another, without wishing it, he may not come back from a mission. I think that they all have this understanding.
There was a famous French general, General Négrier, who said, "Vous êtes légionnaire pour mourir, je vous envoie où l'on meurt. You're a legionnaire to die, I'll send you where you can die." When you join the Legion, death is just another one of those things that happens. It's accepted.
You got to be aware of you could go to another country and fight and die for a different country. And for me, that was a chance I'm willing to take.
In an era of burgeoning civil war, the Legion is more active than ever.
There is always the chance that we'll be called into, as it's happening now, in Afghanistan. We've already operated in Kosovo. There's a chance we might be called into Macedonia. Our company has already operated in Chad. And the Legion, throughout its history, has always operated in any hotspot in the world.
With its global reach, the Legion once again came under attack as the enforcer of French colonialism. Algeria in the 1960s was the low point. Desperate for independence,